think our theories around Miss Huang is only because she's Asian. Spoilers if you aren't up to date with Severance. Last week, we were introduced to this incredible character, Miss Huang. And I've been seeing a lot of people theorize that this is Mark's and Gemma's child. Now, clearly, this child has something to do with the impropriety going on at Lumen, but I don't see any evidence pointing to her being their child. I think the only reason why we think that she may be is the fact that she's Asian. Let's really break it down for a second. First thing I want to bring your attention to is the fact that Miss Huang is, I think, around 12 or 13, which is way too old to be the child of Gemma and Mark. If you remember, Gemma died, I think, 2 or 3 years prior to the events of season 1. Even before she died, Mark talked about her issues with fertility. So even if she had a baby that was stillborn, that would have been something that his sister brought up, because remember, Mark has family outside that we've met and we've heard experiences with Gemma. So if she happened to be their child, not only would they have to have gotten DNA from both Mark and Gemma, which you're right, they have access to, but they would have had to find a way to age her up in this time, which I'm not gonna hold you is a little bit too much, I think, for the type of show that this is. I think her potentially being a clone of Gemma has more legs, but even then, I don't think that the show is pushing towards clones in that way. In season 1, we see Mark on a date and there are people protesting Lumen, and they're talking about children and immigrants being kidnapped and severed. You have to remember the overarching theme and villain of the show is capitalism and just how far companies will go. So I'm more inclined to believe that Miss Huang is the next step in Lumen, just the Severance program in general, and is in no way related to Gemma and Mark. And I think the only reason why we are drawing these conclusions about cloning in children is the fact that this child is Asian. So we're like, oh, why would they put an Asian actress there unless she's related to the one other Asian actress on the show? Honestly, y'all could be right, but I hope that we're not. This is why it's important to have diversity in shows, because it leads us down the wrong path and it stops us from actually interpreting the art. When we are looking at like 2 Asian actresses, we're like, oh, they have to be related in some type of way. And once again, I could be wrong here, but I don't know. I just don't think that that's the route they've been going. Tell me, what are your thoughts here on Miss Huang? Let me know in the comments below.